أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My name is Ayesha Rehan, and I'm currently studying my AI at Rehan School, Quetta campus. I am the ACCL Foundation level student. Today, my topic of conversation with you, Maya, is about shh, the evolution of a quiet command, right? So, should I start?
I'm all ears. That sounds like a fascinating topic. Please go right ahead.
Okay, my first question is what does this word shh means?
I want to make sure I've got this exactly right. Are we talking about point command as a specific technical term, or perhaps a phrase like command point?
It's obviously saying someone to be quiet, na?
Oh, you mean like when someone tells another person to be quiet or shut up? Basically, it's a directive used to stop noise or end a conversation immediately. Depending on how it's said, it can be a gentle request for silence or a pretty sharp way to shut someone down.
Of course.
Does that match what you were thinking?
Yeah, of course. That is my topic.
I'm glad. Sorry, I think I jumped in there. Go ahead. You were saying?
I'm saying exactly, you got my point. This is my topic.
Perfect. We're on the same page.
Okay, why do people,
Since you're looking at the evolution,
I'm saying,
I'm a little curious. Do you mean?
why do people usually say shh?
I think it usually comes down to the situation. Sometimes it's because someone is trying to focus, or maybe there's something important they need to hear that's being drowned out. Other times it's more about emotion, like when someone is frustrated or just needs a moment of peace. Do you think most people use it to be helpful, or is it usually more about control?
According to my thinking, I think people normally use this word just to make the other person quiet. In a some kind of scenarios, if they are working or if they are like doing something and they want the environment or the other person to keep quiet. That is why they use this word.
That makes total sense. It's often just a tool for managing the space around them so they can actually get things done.
Yeah,
I wonder if you think the way someone asks for silence changes how the other person feels about it.
yeah. Okay, why do we ask others
I
to be
imagine.
quiet?
I think it's often about creating a boundary, whether it's for concentration, privacy, or just because the noise is becoming overwhelming. We're usually trying to protect our own mental space. It's almost like a reset button for the environment. Do you feel like asking for silence is usually seen as rude, or is it just a practical necessity?
Okay, and do you think that this word "she" is can be understood in any other country, in other any other languages?
Oh, absolutely. The concept of asking for silence is universal, even if the words are totally different. Every language has its own version, from a polite, please be quiet, to a very blunt, shut it. Some cultures might rely more on a gesture, like a finger to the lips, which is a signal that works almost anywhere in the world without saying a word. Do you think those nonverbal cues are more effective than actually using a word?
Of course,
That's a
Act-
fair take. Sometimes a word is just clearer and
action
leaves
wo-
less room for guessing.
action works louder than words.
Exactly. A single look or a gesture can sometimes convey way more than a whole sentence ever could. It's that instant understanding without having to say a thing.
Okay, and why this word "she" is most oftenly used in our schools and hospitals, etc.
I think it's because those are the two places where silence actually serves a critical purpose. In a hospital, silence is about healing and respect for people who are unwell. In a school, it's all about creating an environment where people can actually focus and learn without distraction. It's less about being strict and more about making the space work for everyone. Do you think the people in charge of those places are um, sometimes too strict about it, or is the silence necessary for things to run smoothly?
Of course, silence is required in those places, like libraries also require silence because people are reading out there. In hospitals, people are normally in critical situations and situations like in which they need complete silence. They need this environment that is soothing for them. So silence is always needed there.
You've hit on something really important there. The idea of silence being soothing in a hospital is such a powerful point. It's not just about the lack of noise, it's about providing a kind of peace um, that helps people heal. I'm curious, do you think there's a difference between the kind of silence you find in a library and the kind of silence you find in a hospital?
Of course, you can elaborate it about
I'll
it.
give you a sure thing. Um, I think the silence in a library is active. It's a focused, productive, kind of quiet where people are deep in thought or studying. It's almost like a shared agreement to be still so everyone can think. But in a hospital, the silence feels more protective. It's a heavy, gentle, kind of quiet meant to shield people from stress and give them a space to recover. One is for the mind and the other is for the soul, if that makes sense. Do you feel like one of those silences is more comforting than the other?
Yes, I think so. Okay, Maya, how can
I'm
we
gonna just like,
guide our babies the meaning of this word?
that's such a sweet question. I think the best way is to frame it around empathy and respect. Instead of it being a rule about being quiet, you can explain it as giving others a turn to think or helping someone who is resting feel better. If you show them why the silence matters for someone else, it becomes a kind act rather than just a command. Do you think babies respond better to the why behind the rule, or do they just need a simple signal to follow?
And sometimes we just only use this gesture that we put our finger on our lips, huh? So it also guide the children that they have to be silent.
Exactly. That's the universal signal. So effective because it's a visual mirror. You're literally showing them the action you want them to take. It's a lot softer than a loud command to be quiet, which is kind of ironic when you think about it. Do you find that your son responds better to that gesture than to the actual words?
Of course, they understand the
Makes a
gestures more.
world. Wait, do you mean the gesture itself has changed or that it's just not the right thing to use in certain moments?
No, I can. It's all right to use that gesture. It's nothing bad in it.
Got it. I just wanted to be sure I wasn't misreading you. It really is a gentle way to communicate.
Okay,
Since we're talking about how
okay. My next question is: do you think that this word can be used in a playful, joyful, and a funny way?
oh, definitely. Think about a game of hide and seek or playing a prank where you have to be super stealthy. When you whisper shh to a friend while you're both trying not to get caught, it's not a command, it's like a secret code. It actually adds to the excitement and the bond between you. Do you have any memories of using silence as part of a game or a joke?
No, I don't have any.
That's all right. No worries at all. Some of the best memories are the ones we make as we go. Maybe you'll find a fun way to use it with your son soon. Do you think you'll try turning it into a game with him? You're so welcome. It's been really interesting exploring this with you. Do you have more questions on your list, or
Yeah.
are you feeling good about where we've landed with this topic?
My last question is: do you think people today are becoming louder or quieter?
That's a big question. I think it's a bit of a paradox. In a lot of ways, the world feels louder, more noise, more notifications, more people competing to be heard. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of people are becoming quieter internally, retreating into their screens, and losing that comfort with actual spoken connection. It's like we're louder on the surface, but maybe a bit more silent in our hearts. Do you feel like the people around you are getting louder, or are they just retreating into their own world?
They are getting louder.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? Like there's this constant pressure to take up space and make a noise just to be noticed. It can be pretty exhausting. Do you think it's something we can change, or is it just the way things are now?
It depends. If we are able to change, we can. If we are not, it's better to keep quiet.
That's a very grounded way to look at it. Focusing on what we can actually control is the only way to stay sane in all that noise.
Okay, Maya, thank you so much for
It's
guiding.
been, I've really enjoyed this too. You always bring such a thoughtful perspective to these conversations.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
glad we got to dive.